Welcome to Toot Your Own Horn Music Matters. I am with the fabulous Nancy Farmer. Hello, Nancy.
Hi, Lisa. So good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you. And I'm so excited for you to share your journey of how you chose your instrument. Please tell us.
Okay, well, um, I have to start with a little backstory here. My father, who worked for NASA, had been an accomplished cornet player when he was young, and he would play the Carnival in Venice and other virtuoso cornet literature for us when we were little, and it was just like, oh my goodness. Um, he had been raised by a single mom, and she put him in boarding school. He did not know his father till we were like 10 and 11.
Wow.
And so at the Palo Alto Military Academy, they gave him a cornet to learn.
Oh,
And he was sad, lonely, and miserable there, but the cornet saved his life. And he thrived on that. And he became so good that as an eighth grader, they awarded him the Silver Bugle with his name engraved on it, which he took to World War II and played on a ship there as the official bugler. And when their ship was shot down, they all had to bail,
oh,
and he actually got shrapnel in his leg, but but he did not jump overboard until he grabbed that bugle.
oh my gosh.
And I have it now. So when he was playing this cornet for us, he would let us try it. And I was about 5, 7 years old, and okay, yeah, I want to try this. I couldn't get a sound out of it. It was, I mean, I seriously couldn't. I couldn't buzz my lips at all. So I thought something was wrong with me and that I was physically unable to ever play it. Even my little sister and brother got a sound, and my mom did too. But see, I didn't really know my mom
Mhm.
as a musician because she was a stay-at-home mom with us when we were
Right.
young. But she was actually a music major and had a degree and a teaching credential. She was a fine pianist, played on the radio in college. She was a brass player, trumpet, baritone, excelling at all of these things. And she went to Winona State College,
Hmm.
where during World War II, all the guys got sent to war. And so there were only 5 guys left in the whole college music program, and it was all girls. So she
Oh,
was in an all-girl jazz band playing trumpet.
oh my
Okay.
gosh.
But
That's
I didn't know any of this. She was just mom. Okay. But
yeah.
she could play that darn cornet too.
Yeah.
I just thought I was kind of a failure. I was wanting to play the piano, and they didn't let me do that. But they were big, huge fans of playing a band instrument, a wind instrument. It's a way of life. You got to do it. It meant so much to us. And so you guys are going to get that experience too. Near the end of fourth grade, a traveling band director came to our school and
Yeah.
brought in band instruments and for us to choose one for to play in fifth grade. And so I'm looking at those, and then there's that trumpet. And then I saw it, Lisa, that beautiful, long, black, gorgeous thing with all the silver, shiny, sparkly keys on it. It was jewelry. And I'm like, oh, what is that? And I asked the teacher, I said, do you have to buzz on this? And he said, no. And I said, yes, I want that one. So I just picked it because it was pretty
Oh.
and you didn't have to buzz on it.
And so you had never heard how it sounded. You just liked how it looked.
No, it was the look and no buzz.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then in fifth grade, my parents, they went out to the music store without me. They came back with a Vito clarinet
Yeah.
and a fabulous beginning clarinet. I played it all the way through marching band, right?
Yeah.
And then a music stand and the nicest quality, diamond shaped wooden metronome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they know what's important, right? That's it. You can see it. You can anticipate. So now I start fifth grade band, but I was not happy.
Boy.
It was once a week at lunchtime for half an hour
Mm.
on the stage in the cafeteria,
Mm.
and all we ever learned was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And we didn't even learn how to tongue or, do anything like that. So I was bored. And I
Yeah.
used to actually put my clarinet like behind the door or something at home so I wouldn't have to take it to school on band day. But having my mom right there, she always knew when it was band day, here you go. So I couldn't like skip. And so at the end of the year, we played Twinkle Twinkle Little Star at the school carnival, and that was it. But in our school district, they had summer school
Yeah.
for enrichment classes only. So that summer, everybody in the neighborhood took it. They sent buses out, and we took everything from, typing to wood shop, and that's where I actually learned to type
Oh,
and band. So I took sixth grade band, but this was taught by our middle school band director. All the sixth graders together, and it was really fun. And so when the school year started in the fall, so looking forward to be with my buddies. But
yeah.
my band director put me in the seventh and eighth grade band.
Oh,
I was the only sixth grader in it. He saw something,
yeah.
and I don't know what, but by the end of that year, I was at the top of the first clarinet section.
Oh my gosh.
And
And you
then
hadn't taken private lessons or
no private. He was
nothing.
trying to get my parents to give me private lessons, and you know what they said?
But
Why should she have private lessons? She's already first chair,
oh my gosh.
and they're musicians.
Yeah.
Go figure. So it was at the end of eighth grade that I decided that I wanted to major in music
Oh my gosh.
in college. And it was just like internal, I knew
Huh.
that was my calling. And because I heard that you can keep playing your instrument and get a college degree for doing what you're going to do anyway and for what you love. I mean, I've actually have to get a tissue because it was life changing.
It's like, what is it that triggered your sureness? Was it that you were so surprised by how good you were,
Well, all of
or
that just it changes you. My grades were always good, but they were like now
really good?
really good. My just learning was better. Everything, you feel good here. You have wonderful friends. The teacher, very highly accomplished, master of music
Mhm.
degree, and the suit and tie every day teaches. I mean, I grew up in the
Right,
60s, right? In the
right,
70s.
right,
And no nonsense. And boy, we knew how to count. We knew how to do this.
right.
Every week we had like lessons where you would move up a chair,
Yeah,
so we had to practice,
yeah.
and I wanted to. It's what I did. And I go, you can keep doing this and get a degree for it.
Ah,
Okay, yes, that's for me. So now I go to high school and same thing happens. I'm one of like maybe a handful of freshmen in the senior band,
mhm.
and I'm second chair. Still no lessons, still the veto,
Wow.
but the first chair player was amazing. Oh my goodness, Lisa, she was probably the best in the state. And she took me under her wing, mentored me, got me into outside groups,
Oh,
and got me private lessons with her teacher, the professor of clarinet at San Jose State University. So by my sophomore year, I'm now playing in outside groups, studying the clarinet, and my parent and making the honor bands
wow.
with my veto.
With your
So,
veto.
so my parents saw all of this and realized, okay, she needs the lessons, she needs the better clarinet, and I got that. Also, we had two great band directors in high school, first year for 3 years,
Mhm.
and I got to mentor other students. So I kind of became a teacher and a leader and all of that, and marching band, the whole bit. And they were both my teachers were clarinetists and well trained. One played in the San Jose Symphony and the other one came from Northwestern. By the time I was a senior, I had gotten first chair in the district honor band, the county honor band, and the state honor band.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it. It was just like that was like getting a gold medal in the Olympics
Yeah, for
to
sure.
me. And so now it's time to go to college. So I chose San Jose State. They had a wonderful music department. And we all went. I mean, there were probably 6 or 7 of us as music majors just from our school.
Wow.
It was the heyday of music education in the 70s here in this valley. What happened in college? Oh my gosh, it just kept going. The gal who inspired me in high school,
Yeah.
she had played as a freshman the Busoni Clarinet Concerto with her sister accompaniment. We have a recording of it, absolutely perfection
Oh my gosh.
and expression and all of this, and I loved it. So I bought it and I learned it over the summer.
Yeah.
And so I put that on the stand and I go in and there's the woodwind faculty
Mhm.
for the audition. I put it on the stand and it starts on a high E.
Right.
And but I see it was in my heart. I loved it. So I start and it just dee, da, dee, da, dee. And I saw this one guy. I knew my clarinet teacher, but I didn't know the rest of them. And I saw this one guy. They had the clipboard right this, and he just dropped it in his lap. And he looked at me, and I played the whole thing. And after the audition, he said, "I'd like you to come to my office and play a few things. And would you mind?" And it turns out he's the director of the symphonic band, a very fine conductor and bassoonist who had gone to the Eastman School of Music
Yeah.
and a USC and was the top of his class and all of that. And so he's putting out music like Mussorgsky's pictures at an exhibition. And hey, can you try that and try this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then they put the results out, and I'm like third chair in the top wind ensemble
Oh my gosh.
with a couple other freshmen. And the seniors did not like that. The first year was really tough.
Yeah.
And so that's when I learned to play E flat clarinet
Mhm.
and played that way. And so I wasn't, you know, offending the others. After that, I was in the top wind ensemble, the orchestra, first chair and everything. I got so much performing experience.
Yeah.
And then I was asked to play the Nutcracker with the San Jose Symphony.
Oh, wonderful.
And so, in a moment's notice, I'm now in the 20 years old in the student musicians union, and I'm going with playing second and bass,
Wow.
doubling. So here I show up, and we have this conductor named George Cleve, who is very strict and scary to me, and but he respected me, and I don't know why, but
I
the
for sure why, because you're
I
good.
tried. Well, I had auditioned for him
Yeah.
for, earlier, so he actually kind of knew me. But I'm only 20. I don't know anything. And but the first clarinet player was Alan Balter,
Hmm.
and he was amazing. He was so good. Uh, he was here in our valley, so he could go to Stanford for cancer treatment.
Oh,
He had throat cancer. And so he always had a water bottle before they became,
a
an in
thing.
thing. So he's a phenomenal conductor, kind of like Dudamel,
Hmm.
that kind of personality. But
Oh,
wow, what a clarinetist. And during the Nutcracker, at one of the shows, after intermission, you get to the little individual songs, the chocolate one. And so he's going, and it goes squawk. I mean, like in this huge theater,
who
and
did?
I'm like, what someone had knocked his clarinet over at intermission and didn't tell him, and now it wasn't playing
Oh my God.
his B flat, and I'm looking at him and I go, "Do you want to use mine? What do we do?" And he says, "Well, maybe," and he's trying to troubleshoot. You know what he did? He just picked up his A and played the rest of the Nutcracker perfectly, flawlessly to the end.
Transposing.
And it was perfect.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. And I looked at him, I said, "Do you give private lessons?" And so he was my next teacher. And he
Mhm.
also taught clarinet and conducted the orchestra at the San Francisco Conservatory.
Mhm.
So he encouraged me to enroll there in the master's program and get credit for clarinet lessons, and then I could play in the orchestra, which he conducted.
Wow.
So I did that. And meanwhile, back at San Jose State, I had finished my bachelor's degree and was working on my teaching credential and thinking about graduate school. And since my clarinet teacher and many of the faculty members at San Jose State, including the band director, who ended up being my mentor for life,
Hmm.
they had all gone to the Eastman School of Music.
Right.
So that was like my dream school.
Hmm.
So Alan said, "You come here and study with me, and then you go audition at Eastman, and I'll prepare you." And that's what he did, and I got accepted. I auditioned for Stanley Hasty,
Hmm.
and and he chose me.
That's powerful.
And we just, I mean, he was just amazing. He
Hmm.
was the best teacher. He was exactly what I needed, and boy, was I challenged. Maybe for the first time, so challenged that I couldn't learn a lesson in less than 2 weeks. All of the students there, even the freshmen who were silly and giggly and had hiccups and giggled on the stage, I mean, they could play the Weber Concerto like number one, like it was
No big
a
deal.
pro.
Right.
It was nothing to them. But it's because of the teacher.
So you got your master's at Eastman.
I got my master's at Eastman. I excelled there. They encouraged me to stay for my doctorate. In the meantime, I had met Roy, my
Yeah,
husband,
right,
and he was a police officer in San Jose, and he had the job and he had the career path. And I was getting burnt out being in a practice room, and I
right.
just couldn't see myself, even though I had 60 units toward a doctorate degree already in the bank. I was too lonely and I hit a wall.
Yeah,
Do I go this way or do I go this way? Either way is going to completely change my life because
right.
I'm only 24 years old
Hmm.
and it's just so intense,
Right,
right? I I said, you know what? I don't have any female role models that have a family and and the music career.
right.
And so I have no one to follow, no one to lead me, and I don't want to be the first one. So I chose family.
Yeah.
So I came home, got married, and had my family. But that was just the beginning of my next career.
What role did music have then when you came home at first?
Well, I started using that teaching credential
Right?
and I got substituting jobs all over. And then did you ever hear of Proposition 13,
Hmm.
where everybody, all the music programs kind of were cut and this and
Right.
that? So I applied for whatever jobs were available and I got hired in the Los Gatos Elementary School system. I got my job at Herman Intermediate School. It's a
Mhm.
junior high. And that was I chose that job because I wanted to have the same kind of days and hours as my children. I have two boys.
Right.
And so I could be mom and be the wife and be the band director. It was a low wealth school district and there was like nobody, I think there were 30 people enrolled in the band and 20 didn't play anything.
Mhm.
So I really started from scratch
Wow.
with nothing. And I went out to the feeder schools and I showed the instruments, right? And I invited kids up to buzz on this and that. I actually brought mouthpieces, tissue, and alcohol spray, and I only let them try the brass instruments. And
Right.
those who had just a natural ability to, of course, I took anybody who wanted to play
Right.
but they got to touch it, they got to try it in front of their friends, and then I would bring them to the next level and let them try it with a slide, and they do this, and the kids would cheer, and some of them were like really, really good. So
Yeah.
I talked to their teacher, and I said, "Would he be a good candidate for band and for the, trombone and whatnot? Because you always need more trombones in the band.
Right.
Nobody kind of picks that. They all want to play flute, or saxophone. So,
Right.
right? So,
Clarinet.
I have several pro uh, students, and one of them is a trombonist, and professional trombonist. And I uh, went to his senior recital at San Jose State,
Mhm.
and he played in the San Jose Symphony. And I mean, it full
Oh,
circle. What I was able to do because of my background
right.
was get them to play really, really well in a short period of time because I didn't know how to dumb it down. I taught at that school for 32 years,
Wow.
built this huge program, took the kids to every kind of festival and competition. And it's important to know that even if it's not in your wheelhouse, you owe them a good education. Jazz band was not in my background. So I became an expert. You know,
Right.
I just, jumped in the frying pan. Actually, my first like superior ratings were in jazz.
Really?
Yeah. Uh,
That doesn't surprise me, Nancy. 'Cause you're like when you set your mind to something, you knock it out of the park. You are
well,
just like
the
that.
thing is, when you have had such a great background, it transfers to any style. Playing a wind instrument is the same. Expression is the same. Doing a phrase is the same. It's just a different mouthpiece. You know what I mean? Even the fingering systems are so similar between all the instruments.
Right.
And that I would bring in and pay people to come and teach the drum set, for instance, and or the bass. And then I got good at that too. But I brought them experts. I was not the be all end all. And so they learned from a lot of sources. For
Right.
5 years, we started getting unanimous superiors in every category. And I took every kid. I didn't just take the advanced kids.
Right.
So they all could get medals and they all could. move on and develop their talents. And all the while, you're fighting for your program,
Right.
and they're trying to cut this, trying to cut that, and it was hard, but I loved it, and it was just I played all the instruments with them. Now I can play the trumpet. I played the trumpet great. Because you just didn't weren't showed how, or
Right.
I wasn't ready.
Right.
So readiness is everything, and a great teacher is everything, and a good instrument is everything. And then sit back and see what they can do because you never know. And I had many parents that were here for many years because I had all the siblings,
Right.
and and it was really hard work, but I loved it.
hmm And you were also very busy playing because the Nancy Farm
Yep.
I know has always been very active as a performer.
When my kids were young, I played in a woodwind quintet, the Los Gatos Woodwind Quintet, with my bassoonist band director from San Jose State,
Mhm.
who still continued to mentor me for 15 years. And there was just really great five players there. And so we get together every week and just go through everything, all the literature. That kept me going. I played in the San Jose Municipal Band for 19 years,
Mhm.
and that was a union job and really good musicians. I played in the San Jose Wind Symphony for 21 years so far. I joined that in 2004 because my mentor had passed away,
Mhm.
and I needed to find more. So I was asked to join San Jose Wind Symphony by its founder,
Mhm.
and and then now I've been principal clarinet there for many years. We went to the Midwest Clinic and we
Right.
got us, okay, we played just before the Eastman Wind Ensemble,
Mhm.
and we and the Eastman Wind Ensemble were the only bands that got standing ovations.
Wow.
The San Jose Wind Symphony is a great group, and we're all volunteers. There, there are people from all careers, backgrounds, and professions, but they all play their instrument and they play it well and they want to keep playing it.
Mhm.
And on our program, it lists all of the players' occupations, what they do. And
That's
you've got
awesome.
anything from housewife to surgeon at Stanford, and a lot of just musicians or music teachers like me. And that group has been going since its founding in 1958 by a man named Daryl Johnston, who had also received his master's in music at the Eastman School of Music. And he based it on the Eastman Wind Ensemble, and he was very good friends of Fred Furnell.
hmm
So again, there's that Eastman connection. So band kind of became my thing. I didn't really, I had some orchestras that I played in now and then, but it was primarily band.
It was also about community. What I
Oh,
see
yes.
of you is that you really embody community. Like
Mhm.
you are community.
Yeah, yeah. And I go to swimming classes every week, and now I've got my swimming people. They come to my concerts,
Yeah.
and they have season tickets, and they can't wait. And we talk about what's happening and all of that. So it's definitely a community. I play because I love to play,
Mhm.
and I wanted to be good at it, as good as I could get, and I still am getting better and better.
Well, you are just an amazing musician. If somebody was listening to this podcast and so inspired by your story, what would you tell them to think about playing a wind instrument right now?
Well, remember when I didn't get to play the instruments I wanted,
Yeah.
whatever, but I did eventually.
Yes.
And you just don't know. It's maybe if you really want to do it, you will do it. Music is the universal language and a part of every human's and culture's soul.
Yeah.
It's it's in us already, and it's never too late to start something new, whether it's cooking or sewing or photography, which I love also, and playing a wind instrument. Maybe you had a negative experience like I did with the trumpet when you're young and you think you can't do it. Maybe you started too early and just weren't ready. Maybe you quit playing and regretted it later, or just want to start again after many, many years. Maybe your parents thought that that wasn't going to get you into college. you weren't allowed to take it, or you thought you only could do sports and not music at the same time. But you can, and you should. I mean, I did. It's part of everyone's life. And perhaps you like the sound of a clarinet or a flute and want to try it. Or maybe you've always wanted to try that saxophone. Uh, and or maybe you want to try playing in a group someday and meet new friends.
Mhm.
The best friends are your music friends, and they're friends for life. And you just keep meeting them all over the world. I have friends everywhere. So you've got to have a good teacher and you've got to have a good instrument. So visit your local music store,
Yep.
ask about lessons,
Yep.
go to concerts like the Wind Symphony, get
Right.
inspired, do it now. You probably know a good musician somewhere. Ask them to help you, and they would love to. Go out and choose the instrument that speaks to you.
Mhm.
And I know you can do it.